The Philosopher's Pulse.
Have you ever made a snap decision only to wonder, why did I do that? Well, look no further. Welcome back to the Philosopher's Pulse. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of cognitive biases and how they shape our decision-making, especially when the stakes are high. First up is loss aversion. Did you know that the fear of losing something often hits harder than the joy of gaining? This powerful bias can lead us to make irrational choices, like holding on to failing investments or choosing a safe job over a riskier yet rewarding opportunity. Loss aversion is a key concept in behavioral economics, originally proposed by psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky in their prospect theory, developed in the late 1970s. One key element of loss aversion and the prospect theory is the value function. The value function in prospect theory is concave for gains and convex for losses. This means that as gains increase, the additional satisfaction, utility, derived from each extra unit diminishes. Conversely, the function is steeper for losses, indicating that losses hurt more than gains feel good. For example, losing $100 feels more painful than the pleasure of gaining $100. Ever watched a game show? Contestants often face a tough choice: stick with their first pick or switch. Many stay put, fearing loss more than pursuing potential gains. This behavior highlights how cognitive biases can cloud our judgment, not just in games, but in real life too. Next, let's talk about the conjunction fallacy. This occurs when we mistakenly believe specific scenarios are more likely than broader ones. Our intuition can mislead us, causing us to ignore statistical facts and make poor decisions. A great example is the Linda problem, a study done by Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman in 1983. In one of the most famous experiments, participants were presented with a description of a woman named Linda, who was described as a young, outspoken and bright person concerned with social justice. When asked whether it was more likely that Linda was a bank teller or a bank teller who is active in the feminist movement, about 85% of participants chose the latter option, the conjunction, even though it is statistically less likely than the former or the single event. Research has consistently shown that a significant majority of participants fall for the conjunction fallacy in various scenarios and is not limited to one demographic or culture. Studies conducted in various countries have found similar rates of the conjunction fallacy, indicating it is a widespread cognitive bias. This has implications in areas such as legal judgments and risk assessment. For example, jurors might find a detailed account of events, a suspect's involvement in a specific crime, more compelling than general probabilities, leading to erroneous conclusions about likelihood. Then there's the anchoring effect. The first piece of info we encounter can skew our decisions. For instance, if a car's initial price is $30,000, we might unconsciously base our negotiations around that, even if it's inflated. This tactic is often used in marketing to make discounts seem more appealing. A classic example of a statistical study demonstrating the anchoring effect comes from Tversky and Kahneman's 1974 research on the Wheel of Fortune experiment. The experiment involved participants being asked to estimate the percentage of African countries in the United Nations. Before making their estimate, they spun a Wheel of Fortune that landed on a random number, either 10 or 65. Those who saw the wheel land on 10 estimated a lower percentage of African countries in the UN, around 25%, compared to those who saw the wheel land on 65, around 45%. The results were the random number. The anchor is significantly influenced the participants' estimates, even though it was clearly irrelevant to the actual question. This demonstrated that people tend to rely on the first piece of information they encounter, the anchor, when making judgments, even if it's arbitrary. Heuristics are our mental shortcuts, helping us make quick choices based on limited info. While they were lifesavers in the past, today's complex decisions require a more analytical approach to avoid biases. So, how can you improve your decision-making? Start by pausing before making choices, especially with numbers. Consider different perspectives to uncover hidden biases. Cultivating critical thinking is key to navigating life's complexities with confidence. In summary, understanding cognitive biases like loss aversion can empower us to make better decisions. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more insights on enhancing your decision-making and understanding human behavior. Also leave a comment so that we can further the conversation towards a better future.
The Philosopher's Pulse? Like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment.